So here, Paul is urging Timothy to instruct the rich to view their money as God's enablement to accomplish good deeds. And here is where we make the connection between, again, faithful stewards of our material wealth and how then that naturally leads us to be faithful stewards of the relationships that we have as well, that we are afforded the opportunity to meet the needs of others. And this is really a challenge for us, right, the rich, to see our wealth in a completely different light. That yes, God provides everything for us to enjoy, but at the same time, it is not just for us. It is not just about us, that it is also about others as well. And perhaps for you, this may require a bit of a shift in your perspective, right? That you have to change our perspective from, well, the money and the wealth is for me to use and enjoy. And we have to change and shift that to, well, money opens the door for me to then impact others in my life. Again, it's learning to see our resources from the master's perspective. What would God want me to do with what I have? Right? Paul answers that for us right here in verse 18. Do good, be rich in good works, to be generous and be ready to share. And as we look at that, I want to note specifically a heart attitude that Paul describes here, is and ready to share. And so in this way, it's not simply about giving or sharing, as a pastor in the U.S., Chip Ingram, puts it. He says, giving is an action. Generosity is a matter of the heart. And so you can give, but not be generous. You can do it because, for example, you don't want to be punished, right? Or you want to look good in front of others, right? There's a lot of reasons why you may give, and why, at least externally, it kind of looks good. But then at the same time, if you're generous, right, that is something from the heart, that your giving flows out of that. And as such, your generosity connects you with others. It, again, is a way to steward your relationships by being generous towards other people. And this, in fact, is an indication of proper stewardship and trust in God. And what I mean by that is you trust God enough that you would be generous towards others. Right? Think about that. You trust God enough to be generous towards others. Right? This is the opportunity that we, the rich believers, are given. And that God wants you to respond to him, not by simply saying nice words or giving him lip service, but by intentionally loving and caring for other people. And generosity is the key by which we do that. Our generosity is an expression of our love for God. Just as we saw in verse 17, that God is generous towards us, right? Blessing us richly for things for us to enjoy. And as such, then we should be generous towards others as well. Author Gordon Fee puts it this way. He says, the enjoyment of everything as God's generous gift leads away from high-mindedness and false security to the freedom of giving generously. Hence, true riches is found in the giving, not in the having.